Hi, I'm Rachel Holmes and welcome to the Rachel Holmes Show. How are you? Thanks for all your comments and your feedback and everything that you're sending to me over all the social media platforms. It's brilliant. So please keep sharing all the videos and I'm glad you're really enjoying them. This interview that follows is for fitness professionals and anyone that's in business, because as we record this is the end of 2016 going into 2017. Everything is changing. Not just the world is changing, but social media is changing. How we market our products and services is massively changing. And I really do think that, especially for fitness professionals, if you are in the community and you aren't promoting yourself on social media, using video and really tapping into your authentic self and finding out what your story really is, there is so much competition out there. It's important that you understand what your passions are, what your mission is. And this interview with Shari Teigman is just going to blow that out the water. It's a great interview. It'll give you lots of food for thought. And of course, I'd love your comments. So make sure you leave me a comment below or subscribe to my YouTube channel. And make sure you say hello to Shari as well, because she's a great girl. Loads of energy, and this is a really buzzing interview.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks so much for having me on. I'm so glad we coordinated this.
We did it. We got together, and here it is. And this, I know this is going to be a mega interview, because we're both on the same page when it comes to really helping fit pros push their business out there and find what they are really about and their passion. So let's just backtrack, Shari, and tell me all about you and your backstory and how you come to arrive at this point in your business career.
Perfect. Easy, nice question. I'll try not to go on for so long. So I am a single mom of 2 boys, and this coming into this world was an evolution, as it is for all of us. So my backstory is I was a stay-at-home mom in a very unhappy marriage, and I kind of lost myself along the way. And I looked at these 2 little boys and I said, wait a second. I used to have this, I have a lot of energy. I'm from New York, so there's that whole edginess thing. And I lost myself, like my soul left the building. And I went on a transformational road, which was very dark and ugly. And I'm very grateful for almost every day of it. Some of it I would skip over. But I really found myself again by deciding that the status quo wasn't working for me. I didn't know what else was possible, but I decided that you only have one life, and I was going to go find out what that was. On my own personal journey, I went for a coaching certification as well as a year-long yoga teacher certification, and it was really about, and this speaks to Fit Pros, find out who I was, finding my own inner strength from a physical perspective to make it a spiritual perspective to me. So when I was able to bring all the parts of myself back, then I knew, like you just feel this click, and I'm like, oh, there I am. I found myself again. So during that transformation, there were many dark days, and I vividly remember one day where I was laying on my floor in my bedroom, and I said, God, universe, whoever the hell is up there, if you help me get up from here, I promise to never let anyone feel alone or lost like I do right now. And seriously, Rachel, that was the day it changed. Everything just synchronicities, people landed in my lap, books would fall off the shelves at the bookstore like out of a movie. And I just went down this rabbit hole, and I realized, people say how long you've been coaching. I've been coaching since I opened my mouth. I'm very intuitive. I'm very connected to people. I can see people's pain. I can see where they get stuck. And I really think that if we just honor everyone where they are instead of thinking that they're broken, or, for Fit Pros, you have a client who comes in who cannot see any beauty in themselves because they think it's about the weight or they think it's about their stamina, just to bring them home first to themselves, and then anything else is possible from there. Any achievement, physically, emotionally, career-wise, relationship-wise, anything's possible when we give people back the tools that they forgot that they have. So the evolution of my business has been, I started off coaching about 4 years ago, and this is why I do what I do now. I marched right in line with everyone else. Through my coach training, we had a certain marketing to follow, certain kind of photo shoot to have. So it was like, all of a sudden I realized, I looked at my pictures and they were beautiful, and I said, oh God, I'm a Stepford wife again. I look perfect and like all polished. I'm like, how did I end up here again? So I scrapped the whole thing and I said, no more. I'm showing up as me. My website has me in a Thug Life t-shirt. You're going to get raw and real. There's no plastic here, because when people come to us and they're wanting help they're not looking for perfect. It makes them feel worse about themselves. What they want is something relatable to say, me too. I have a big me too movement in my work is, if I show you raw and real and vulnerable, then you can trust me to show you yours and we can all actually get somewhere. So I joke around all the time. I don't really like people. I like souls, because I don't like all the bull and the gossip and the stories and the pretend. It's like, take down all the walls. Who are you? Like, you and I met at a lunch. Our friend in the middle moved and it was like an instant click. Like, that doesn't happen if you're faking things.
Yeah.
So, it enables the realness and the right people to come into your life. So I evolved as a coach marching in line to a coach who doesn't give a crap about anything. And my business has expanded. I work with both men and women, and I help people both in their life and business, because I don't think they're separate. I think that finding out who you are is much more important than worrying about your ideal client and the perfect customer. Because when you know who you are and you understand why your story matters to you, how you can grow and heal yourself and use that to heal and help others, then it's an automatic magnetism that requires no push and funnels. It just happens organically. There are marketing pieces to put into place, but when they come from authenticity and love and vulnerability, it's an easy thing to turn on whenever you want. You're not pretending anything or having to remember and step into a role every time a camera goes on or every time you get in front of a class. So it's evolved into, I write copy for some of my clients. I help them build their businesses to heal themselves. I help them heal themselves to build their businesses. I help them tell their story, and that's another aspect of my business that I have with my business partner, where we really help entrepreneurs, actually many Fit Pros as well, really embrace who they are, bring that story forward, and use video to be their avenue, because video is what's up and coming. It's how people connect. We all have attention spans of fleas. No one reads much anymore. So it's like, what's the quickest way to make a heart connection? Is looking in someone's eyes, hearing their voice, and immediately you know if it's a fit or not. So it's ever evolving. I don't want it to stop. I will never say I've arrived, because like we were talking about before we turned on the camera, for both of us, it's like lateral growth is just so much fun. It's like, what else is possible? What's going to happen today? So I feel very blessed. I feel very honored. And I think that it became like this because of the bravery and the courage that I decided to just say, screw it, I'm going for it, whatever it looks like. And this is what it looks like in this incarnation.
I love that. That's fantastic. Fabulous story. So much. I love that you like souls, not people. I'm going to nick that.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm going to nick that.
Anytime. Take it.
I think there's going to be, as we're recording this, we're going into 2017. The world's changing for many different reasons. Social media is changing. The way we market ourselves and our products is changing. We can just feel this huge, huge shift. And I think dealing with lots of Fit Pros, they are so passionate about what they do. They're excited. They've got big ideas, big dreams. But we kind of get a little bit lost in the minutiae. We look at people who are out there doing their thing, and we think we kind of need to look like them, be like them, market like them, follow their lead. But you're saying, no, it's time to be authentic and work out who you are. So where do we start?
So I think you're 1,000% right. And what's happening is, the more technology expanded our worlds and connected people like this, like us together, and the audiences to be able to, in a touch of a button, be able to reach this, the world has also gotten lonelier in a way.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what we're moving towards. People are craving connection again. They don't want to feel alone. They want to connect on a soul level, to find out, even if it's just in business, but to understand and feel like they're with their community, they're with their people. And I think, like you said, that's one of the reasons that there's a lot of copycatting out there, because they resonate with something and someone inspires them, but they don't have the wherewithal to say, okay, where am I within that? So I think that a way to flip that story to get started is to kind of take stock of what's around you. What do you love? What triggers you? So it's not even about judgment, but the fact is, There's certain people who you watch in business who drive you crazy. Their voices bother you. Their messaging bothers you. Their copy, you get all pissed off and you don't understand why. They don't even know who you are, and you're like writhing with anger. And on the flip side,
It's just me.
no, it's definitely not you. And we feel like we're being nasty, and we're tricked. Like, I've had days where I'm like, I'm out. I'm just shutting my computer. If this is what I'm up against, sometimes it feels like this loud Turkish market that if you're not absurd and obscene and loud enough, you're never going to make it. And that's not what most fit pros are. They're more the intuitive, connected. They care. They're on the gym floor with you. You're holding their hair as someone vomits because you pushed them too hard. So that's a very hard thing to bring into marketing, because you think there's a separate persona that has to come forward. So what I like to do with my clients is first figure out what inspires them and what triggers them without the judgment. It is what it is, and it's already out there. So you have a lot of clues in front of you to give you some fodder to work with. Yeah. So really list out, forgetting the names, what are the things that keep popping up for you that drive you crazy? So for some people who are out there, these celebrity trainers or whatever, who are very, very into fit bodies and only talking about the successful clients, can trigger someone who likes to look at everybody gets to change. Everyone gets to develop. There's this competitive edge where if you can't keep up at that, then you don't deserve any help. Well, that is very triggering for a lot of fit pros, and they take it as a personal offense because it goes against everything they believe in and everything they do on a daily basis. Yeah. So rather than just assigning that anger to someone, figure out what value in you is that triggering? Why does it piss you off so much? What do you believe instead of the trigger is your inspiration? So you kind of turn it and use it to really flesh out, what are your principles, your value, your purpose here? What do you truly want in a bigger way? Understand what success really means to you. Not just about if you made money that month or not, because that's not sustainable. You have to do it again. So you need to make sure you're really functioning from a place of a value-driven purpose as opposed to a money-driven success. That will always peter out. It will always fail, because next month there'll be something new that you didn't grab onto, and then you're in trouble because you were left behind. Yeah. But if you move forward with your values and your real belief about why your audience matters, what are the most important things you want to tell them if it's the last time you're ever going to speak to them? What do you want to infuse in them from your passion to their fear? What are those connecting factors? Like, put together those synapses, and right there is the story on which your platform stands.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's a total different mindset change. And do you get people to write it down, film it, video?
So I actually do a variety of things. I do a lot of art therapy in my work, because sometimes we're such linear thinkers. We're so used to it. Okay, now I got it. Now I'm going to go do it. You have to feel it. This is all about feeling. So that can come out in writing it. You can paint it out even if you're not artistic. Pick a color that feels like that emotion. You can video yourself for no one else to see, but turn on that passion and talk to yourself in the mirror and record it. And when you see, I have goosebumps talking about it. I've seen people, literally lights go on and say, oh, I didn't even know that was in there. Yeah. We haven't allowed ourselves to explore what we actually want to feel and what we want to help other people feel, forgetting all the have-tos and what it needs to look like. When we start by desire being the driver and the connector, the rest falls into place, because then you immediately know how to get them to feel like that. Oh, I just need to speak to them. Oh, I just need to tell a story about someone who felt what they're feeling rather than speaking at them. I'm putting my arm around them and saying, I see you. I understand. I've been there. Or I work with people like you because it lights me up. This is what gets me up in the morning, not just your paycheck. So however it feels to someone to really expand doing that, I would suggest journaling it out. You can map it out on a big piece of paper, do a mind map of you in the center and the things that are important to you. So you have a real visual representation to always go back to when those gremlins start saying, I don't know what to say, or they don't say that. We're not worried about what they say, because what they say is working for them, which means they've done their work here. Yeah. Where's your lane? Stay in it. You can bring bits and bobs from other places, but when you're fully in your purpose, you're the lighthouse. There's nothing that can stop them from coming to you.
I love that. So then where do they go? What's the next stage from there? You know, they've found that authenticity. They found the people. They know what pisses them off about certain people, mentors, gurus, and they feel like they're in the lane and they're ready to go. Where does it move to next, Shari?
So I think this is where people get stuck, because if they're willing to vision, then they have that down, and then they still wake up on Monday morning and do the same thing because that's what it looks like, and they don't know how to connect that to the daily tasks of this. So my next exercise would tell someone, it's like a matching game. So you take those feelings and then you take the task list, whether it's you need 10 new clients, you're opening a new gym, and you bring those feeling states to it. So let's say you're opening a new gym. You have a new franchisee. You train them in how you want it to look, but it still has to be to a degree their own.
Yeah.
What are the feelings they want? Down to like the colors on the wall. What does it smell like? What does it infuse? Go back to like that childhood sensory feeling of what are the smells and feelings of comfort? What are the way that the staff dresses? What kind of music is being played? Like, create sensory experiences for yourself and your clients, and then the rest falls into place. So for example, you may have a fit pro who loves one-on-one work and does not want to expand to bigger than that. Then they need to stop worrying about what the celebrities are doing in vlogs. If that's not their zone, they can enjoy them and bring it back. But we like to forward forecast what we'd like our 5, 10-year, 15-year vision to be, but to still live in today heading towards that. So if someone would like to be on stages and doing bigger events, then they need to not stay in a one-on-one model. They need to explore different avenues, different streams of income, different possibilities, even just to play and volunteer in, to actually step into that greater sense of self, to know what else is possible for them. Otherwise, they just wake up Monday morning, have their 4 clients, go back, look at their vision board and say, oh, remember when I dreamed big? There's a disconnect. You know, I'm making a joke, but it's what most of us do. Yeah. So we have to take that off of that paper and say, what does it look like today? Who can I connect with today? Who can I collaborate with? What other kind of class can I teach? What if I brought some mindset stuff into my lesson, some mindfulness, some meditation, some run a retreat for 2 days where it's exercise as well as not only fitness, but you're bringing someone in with nutrition. Expand a little bit and realize we all want to work together. I don't believe in competition. I believe everyone should make it. So if we start to work together and everyone brings their different flavor to it, what a richer experience we can bring our audience, so you don't stay with blinders on, thinking you're running a race that only you can win alone. What if you held hands with 2 people on the side of you? Imagine the power the 3 of you would bring forward to teach the people what they're looking for.
I love that. And then if you need to translate this passion into digital, into social media, how do we encourage my viewers to stand out, get out of their comfort zone and just do it? How do they actually, they all want to do it and they all want to magnify what they're doing, but how do they do it, Shari?
So while I'm not a template person, and there are people who will say, talk about these 5 things to get people started because it's uncomfortable, I would tell people to pick 5 topics. The best results you've got with a client and why is one of them. Why you started in this business. Tell a story. Who were you before? Who are you now? Show the linear movement so they can see a journey. Talk about what you want to see for the future in the industry that you work in. Show them that you think bigger than you do right today.
Great. Yeah. Show
them, the last one I would say is, and this isn't about bashing anyone, but we all, like we said earlier, we all see stuff out there that doesn't work. Be bold and be a forerunner in saying what isn't working, what's being shoved down people's throats, what's making them uncomfortable. Not to call anyone out, but to say, I honor in you that doesn't work for you because it doesn't work for me. either. So let's together start a movement towards what really matters. Let's bring this back to our values and speak to them like there's someone else on a mission with you, because it empowers them to say, oh, me too. I'm not going to sit here. I want to be closer to that. And it's about the magnetism. So just every time you can shine your light on yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, it doesn't need to be about you. It can be what you believe in, which helps take it a little bit off that personal thing and about your purpose and your mission. It's an easier thing to go forward with when you're first getting started.
Got that. Wow. So many great tips. Absolutely awesome. So tell us about your business with Mark and Story and how that's kind of evolving, because many people watching this will actually know Mark and be really interested to know your collaboration and where you're taking that angle, because that is a really fun part of your business.
Yes. So this is, like I said, because I left myself open, these sort of things happen. So Mark Whitehand is now my business partner. He and I have been friends for about a year. And, we sniff around in the same zones and we love each other's work, and that was it. And then I get a message probably about 5-6 months ago. He said, we need to talk. And I adore the man. I call him a love blob. So I said, I'll talk to you at any time. And he starts telling me this vision that he has. And of course, I start crying and he starts crying. We do a lot of crying together. So Mark is, he's a coach, but he does video. He's a videographer. He makes these incredible films, and they're really raw and gritty. And he's done them for a lot of fit pros, a lot of coaches, where it's connecting clients of where they were before they worked. Where, it's really like, someone would call it a promotional video, but it's like a motion picture. It's this like manifesto, this live video manifesto. So Mark came to me because a lot of his clients need help. He calls me like the story sucker outer. Many of us have all these blocks about what we believe about ourselves, about money, about how big we can go, about all these limiting things and self-sabotage stuff, so that when we get in front of the camera, we completely freeze, even if we feel excited inside. So Mark and I started, it's going to become more of like an agency, but currently right now it's a membership site where we have people who come in. We have story school, which I'm teaching and breaking down all these pieces. We have film school, which helps people learn how to use their iPhones first and then up to more of the camera stuff, so the basic stuff as well as the higher end stuff. We have someone named Alex Wardle who's on our team, who is our film specialist, and he's teaching film school. Then we're going to be launching content school, which is, okay, what do you do with it once you have it? And then syndication school. Once this is all done, how do you get it out in the world? What are the best avenues? So we really create this whole business model where it's taking what you have inside, birthing it out of yourself and spreading it out in the world, because video's up and coming, stories up and coming. This is all Gary Vaynerchuk is talking about now. Like we said early, people want connection. They want to follow a journey. They want to feel like they know you, and then you're their fans for life. So he and I have very big plans about how this is going to expand online, offline, us going out and speaking gigs. There's going to be a big front end where podcasts and vlogs and all that stuff, because if we don't preach what we teach, it makes no sense. But what's beautiful is it's a collaboration of souls, and it's a collaboration of love, and it's wanting to really help people understand their own magic and get it out into the world, instead of just downloading PDFs and action guides and following stuff with all these programs where they download them and they never do any of the work because they don't feel like they're enough. So we've taken that and turned it on its head. We're doing this slow down to speed up. We're taking the pieces apart and putting all the puzzle pieces on the table, finding out who you are, what you're looking for, helping you actually see yourself for the first time, and then putting together real plans to live it, be it, teach it, and use it in your life and in your business.
I love that. That's amazing. So how can people get involved in that? Where can they find you?
So we have a free group on Facebook called Storytellers Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And then through that group, the membership site is called Stents VIP. So the links will all be in Storyteller Entrepreneurs. You just join the group. It's this lovely environment. And what's really amazing is as the VIP grows and the free group grows, it's become this safe place to land. It's like all of a sudden everyone's ready to show each other their stuff, and people are supporting each other. It's not just us teaching at you, but it's become this place where everyone's exhaling. We had this massive live stream conversation last week where actually 6 Fit Pros on the same day had this like crash and burn of, I don't know if this is what I want to be doing. I really want to be helping people with mindset. It was like, it went like wildfire all at one time. So we opened it up and we brought it into what a lot of Fit Pros feel. I'm sure you'll understand this, is that you're only as good as your last client's results. And when they leave, you feel a sense of loss because a part of you left with them, your achievement left with them. So we're really working on building up who they are in themselves. So our goal is to have our students leave and fly and go live their life. But we get so emotionally attached and connected that it almost feels like a loss of self in a way. So making sure that you're building yourself up at the same time as you're building your dream so that one doesn't topple over on the other. We do I teach a scaffold effect of like life and business goes so that there's no foundation that's crashing on anything, because you have to step into a greater self. I mean, if you look at yourself, Rachel, 10 years ago, someone would have told you what you've created. You would have looked at them and said, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you had to become this person who could hold this container to dream this big, go create it, not panic every day and be like, oh God, the world's going to fall on my head. And we have to honor that process in ourselves. So that's a lot of what the community there has done. So we'd love for you all to join in. You can join in the free group. And if the VIP sounds like something you're interested, you can message either me or Mark on Facebook, and we're happy to talk to you about it. But even just the free group is this beautiful environment. You meet like-minded people who are finally not passing the same BS over and over again. It's very refreshing.
And Shari, what's your vision? What's your vision for your business and you personally going forward? If we're seeing you in a year's time here, the spotlight's on you. What are you doing?
I'm doing all of the things. So I currently have a podcast, which I adore. And I think that it's time for me to, I was going to say one book, but it feels like there are going to be 3 books in a series that are starting to come out. I really want to step into both teaching, I love my one-on-one work to death, but I feel like there's more to be done in the world. There's more to be said, and I want to get out on stage and talk about it. I want to give people permission to bring creativity and play back into their life, to understand that curiosity and asking for possibility in your life is the first step to whatever else is there. Instead of thinking it has to be this linear process, for creatives like us who have a lot of passion to know that that's not something that has to be turned down. If you amp that stuff up, you're golden. So I'm hoping to be traveling and speaking more and really expanding my own reach to be able to make sure that if someone can't work with me one-on-one in a high-end capacity, that doesn't mean they don't get to grow. To make myself more available to as many people as I can and get them up to the level of life where they want to be, whatever that looks like, even if I never meet them in person. It's just, kind of spread my wings and shine the light outwards.
I love that. And where can people hook up with you? Sounds a
well, that you can meet me on Bumble or Tinder. No, I'm just kidding. That's a separate interview. So you can find me at my website, which is ShariTeigman.com, or I live on Facebook, Shari D. Teigman. Just friend me. You can join me on my business page. But I say this every interview that I have. I don't believe that someone has to pay to have their voice heard. So if anyone wants to hop on a call with me, have a 30-minute chat, just talk about what's going on, feel seen and heard, you can email me at Shari@ShariTeigman.com. I don't turn people away. Sometimes it's just those little sparks that help you get back on track. So I like to honor that in everyone. It's like there's no fence here. There's no red rope. Come in and join the party.
You're amazing. Shari, thank you so much. It's been a joy to have you.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
I loved it. Thank you.